What happens when you stop texting her? What thoughts cross her mind? Let's explore a real-life scenario. Imagine Alex, who has been actively messaging Sarah. He's fully invested and enthusiastic. Initially, their conversations are smooth and engaging, but then things start to change. Her responses become less frequent, and her messages grow shorter. The initial excitement? It's diminishing. Now Alex faces a tough choice. Should he continue to reach out, or should he just fade away? He's not the only one grappling with this. Every guy in this situation wonders, does she even care? Today we're diving into the intricacies of female psychology. You'll discover how withdrawing can alter the entire relationship dynamic. And in some cases, it can permanently change her perception of you. Stick with me, as each element of this discussion contributes to a larger understanding of attraction. The first element. Let's clarify one thing. Attention holds significant power. For women, particularly those used to constant male attention, it's a regular part of life. When you message her frequently, you become just another familiar sound in the background, an expected presence. She is aware of your existence and your feelings. But does she share the same urgency to reply? Not always. Now here's where the change occurs. When you abruptly stop messaging, it's not merely silence, it creates a void. For a woman who thrives on attention, that emptiness can be disconcerting. It's akin to a song abruptly stopping, leaving her with an unresolved question. What has changed? Did he lose interest? Has he moved on? Is someone else stepping in? That's when the dynamic shifts. Curiosity arises. Frustration intensifies. It's human nature. We don't question what's predictable, but we certainly notice when something we took for granted suddenly disappears. Consider this. You enter your favorite cafe, expecting the usual warm greeting and your regular coffee order ready for you. But today, something feels off. No greeting, no acknowledgement. Suddenly, what was once routine now feels strange. That's precisely what occurs when you withdraw. It's not just your absence. It's the change that captures her attention. And that's where the true power resides. The second element. Let's be honest. Why should you even consider stopping your text to her? Here's the reality. If she's aware of your feelings, whether you've expressed them directly or she's sensed them, and she's not returning the sentiment, then every message you send is like trying to hold water in your hands. The more you grasp, the quicker it escapes. You're giving her all the power. She's not as invested as you, and deep down, you recognize that. Think of it like pursuing a butterfly. The more you chase it, the further it flits away. But when you stop, it might just settle on you. By halting communication, you're changing the game. No more chasing. No more waiting for responses that may never arrive. You're taking back your control, creating a shift in the relationship where suddenly, you become the unpredictable one. But here's the catch. This isn't merely about her noticing your absence. It's about you. Taking a step back isn't a tactic, it's a reset. It's an opportunity to reevaluate, to stop investing energy in someone who doesn't appreciate it, and to redirect your focus to the one person who truly deserves your time and attention. You. The third element. Let's delve into the mindset of a woman who thrives on attention. For her, validation is more than just a perk. It's where she feels most at ease. She's accustomed to being the focal point of admiration, with men competing for her attention. Even if she's not genuinely interested, she relishes the pursuit. So, what occurs when you stop reaching out? It's akin to the applause in a crowded theater abruptly ceasing. The spotlight fades, silence ensues. Initially, she's taken aback. Why isn't he messaging me? Has something changed? That moment of confusion swiftly transforms into curiosity. If she had even a hint of interest in you, that silence might reignite it. Consider social media. People seek likes not just for their posts, but for the attention they bring. Now picture her sharing something and receiving nothing. No likes, no comments. just a barren space where validation once thrived. That's precisely what happens when you withdraw. It compels her to reflect, to question herself, and to think about you. The fourth element. Not every woman seeks attention. Some, yes, even those who are stunning, prefer to avoid the limelight. If she has ghosted you, placed you in the friend zone, or rejected you outright, the reality is clear. She's simply not interested. In such cases, cutting off communication won't make her long for you. Instead, it will bring her relief. Consider it this way. Think of a salesperson who keeps pushing a product you've clearly stated you don't want. It's annoying and overwhelming. But when they finally stop, you feel a sense of relief. For some women, that's what it feels like when you cease texting them. The lack of forced communication isn't a loss, it's liberation. However, here's the catch. If she does change her mind later on, she won't recall the guy who kept pursuing her. She'll remember the one who had the grace to step back. The key lesson here is that knowing when to walk away is not just about honoring her space. It's also about valuing yourself. The fifth element. Now let's shift the focus to you. Let's face it, walking away may seem straightforward, but it's far from easy. When you have feelings for someone, your mind begins to craft an ideal narrative. You envision the future, the outings, the late-night talks, and perhaps even the family you might create together. However, here lies the risk. The more you immerse yourself in this fantasy, the tougher it becomes to let go. You're not just connected to her, you're connected to the concept of her. And that's a snare. So, how do you escape? Embrace reality. Concentrate on what truly exists, not on what might happen. Ask yourself, does she reciprocate my energy? Is she putting in the same effort I am? If the answer is no, then it's time to stop pursuing an illusion and start channeling that energy back to the one person who genuinely deserves it. You. The sixth element. This leads us to the essential principle. Always prioritize logic over emotions. When you become overly emotionally involved, you risk becoming too eager. Neediness is one of the quickest ways to diminish attraction. The reality is that attraction flourishes with equilibrium. If she's reaching out twice a day, don't overwhelm her with a barrage of messages. If her interest seems mild, don't come on too strong. Instead, align with her energy. Reflect her level of engagement. Consider dating as a tennis match. If one player continuously serves without any returns, it ceases to be a game and turns into a workout. That's not enjoyable for anyone. However, when both players maintain the rally, that's when the excitement happens. So maintain the balance, keep the flow, and above all, preserve your self-respect. The seventh element. What if you're already in a relationship? Do these principles still hold? Definitely. In long-term relationships, it's common for partners to start taking each other for granted. The excitement diminishes, not because it must, but because no one is nurturing it. Keeping that excitement alive doesn't require grand gestures every day. It's about being present, continuing to date one another, and avoiding letting the relationship run on autopilot. Consider a relationship like a vehicle. You don't just drive it until it breaks. You maintain it, clean it, and inspect it before issues arise. Once you stop caring for it, things will begin to deteriorate. If you've reached this point, you're already ahead. You're not just understanding how women think, you're learning to appreciate yourself. Dating is not about pursuit, it's about shared effort. If she's not showing interest, don't waste time waiting. Change gears, move ahead. The right person won't keep you waiting, they'll be right there, moving alongside you. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever stopped messaging someone? What was the outcome? Share your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear your experiences. Thanks for watching, and until next time, cherish your time, your energy, and those who genuinely appreciate you.